Yo, what's happening, guys? Welcome to a brand new edition of Rave Diaries and Tower Block Towels with yours truly, Uncle Doug. Not in the building, but actually on location in Ibiza today. And I've got a couple of Ibiza towels, so I saved them for when we was here. Firstly, though, as always, thank you to everyone that's been watching the previous videos and commenting and liking, and all the new subscribers. Love you to bits. Definitely encourage the comments on this particular playlist, because like we're sharing stories, and every story we share, it's another little bit of history that's told, isn't it? So please, like, any of your Ibiza stories, feel free to comment underneath. So today's not strictly a rave diary or a Tower Block Tale, but we was here on a rave holiday that year. I think it was must have been about 2013 or 14 or something like that. I don't know when it was, but it was around that era there. And that was the year we actually had Cafe Del Mar, wasn't it? Was it Cafe Del Mar?
Yeah.
Or the other one? Yeah, it was Cafe Del Mar. We had the penthouse suite at Cafe Del Mar, which is just over my shoulder over there. You can't see it, but where everyone comes to watch the sunset, we had that penthouse that year. There were 6 of us. We was there for 2 weeks and it was amazing, but that's nothing to do with the story. That's just me showing off for a minute. Anyway, on with the story. So we'd been out the night before. I think we might have been to Eden, maybe, if I remember. Anyway, we're at the beach the next day, yeah, and we're all just laying on the beach like a load of mongs. And this young, we weren't young, he was probably in his mid-20s. This young lad called Jasper comes over and befriends us. Yeah, he was a middle to upper class posh. He was a lovely geezer. I've still got his phone number now, funny enough. But he was a lovely dude. But he was very well to do, come from very good stock, and basically his life was going to Thailand for 6 months and just squatting and just being about, and then coming to Ibiza and squatting here and just being about. There's a big community of squat. I mean, it's like it anywhere in the world, isn't it? But you know, Ibiza, there's loads of like empty built, or there was back then. I mean, it's kind of built up a little bit now around here, a little bit more, but back then there was a lot of empty buildings. So he lived in a squat, yeah, and he came down, he had some truffles and all that. I mean, not for me, but a couple of the others were doing truffles and all that, and he just stayed with us for the afternoon. We was having a little smoke, and we'd been buying that because puff weren't legal in Spain when we was coming here back then, so we was buying it off of the loogies and that, these little eggs of hash, yeah. So he was, yeah, big up John. He was our looky out here for a while. He was here year in, year out. He was our regular guy. But anyway, big up John. I ain't seen him this year. He ain't here no more. I don't know where he is. Probably fucking bought a castle with all the money we give him for puff. Anyway, Jasper says to us, I can get a lovely bit of what's the light pollen? Yeah, I get a lovely bit of pollen, so you ain't got I mean, the puff we was getting was alright, but the pollen was better. So by the time we've been together 6-7 hours, he's on the firm, and so we're like, yeah, cool. So he's like, I've got to go back to where I live, to the squat, then we'll go up to the place to get it. It's only up the road. Go back to the squat, cut it up, weigh you a bit, because he wanted a bit as well. Bang. So all right, no problem at all. I was half intrigued as well to see what this squat life was like, stupidly. So me and Sarah, all the others fucked off home. Me and Sarah, like thieves, we go off with Jasper, don't we? And we, for those of you that know Ibiza, it was, you go around the bay, and you know where the little harbour bit is where they do all the boat trips. If you keep walking around now, on your right hand side, on the other side of the road, it was like an old tower block, but derelict. It had no windows in it. I'm assuming it was either an old hotel that was run down and fell apart, but it looked more like a hotel that was started and not finished. So it had all the rooms built, but there was no windows, no doors, no nothing, not on the front of the building, not on any of the rooms. It was just long corridors with, like a hotel, you know what I mean? It was an old hotel. Anyway, we go back to Jasper's thing first. We wait outside. He runs in and gets whatever it was he had to get, and then we bop up to it. It was a little residential block just about 10 minutes out of the way. We walked up to the road. We get to the place, and he's like, right, I need the money. And I'm like, you know, like, it ain't that story, believe it or not, but you know what it's like, and no one's going to give it. So I said, no, it's not that. And he's like, the geezer won't give me it without me fronting the money. I've only got enough to buy my bit. Blah blah blah. He said, I haven't got a front door key or anything, but I can give you my phone. And he gave me his wallet. Everything he had, he gave to me. And you know what? Sometimes you got to just, you know, in for a penny, in for a pound. And if you know you can't, if you know there's a possibility that you're going to get knocked, then I think it's not being knocked. if someone goes and does you up, then that's better. So anyway, there was only one way in, one way out of this little block that he was going into. So I thought, fuck it. You know, I mean, I think it was €60, something like that at the time. So, boom, give him the dough. Off he pops. 5 minutes later, he comes back down. He's got this block of ash. Got to go back to the squat now to cut it up because it's in one lump and a bit of it's his. So, oh mate, wicked, nice one, Jasper. You're the man. So me and Sarah and Jasper pop off down the road, skipping and singing, all happy. We get back to the squat. And now we've got to go in there, innit? So we go through the front doors, and as soon as you walked in there, it's a stone building, so it went from like 30 degrees heat outside, thank you, 30 degrees heat to like walking into a castle or something, you know what I mean? It just goes chill in it straight away, and it's dark in there, like, so go through these winding little fucking things up to where Jasper's room was, going through his door, and he was living in his gaff with his mate, so he had a bed on a mattress on the floor, and his mate had a mattress on the floor. They had a table in between them. On the table was a candle. That was it. They couldn't leave nothing in the room. When he went out in the day, he took his stuff out with him in the bag. So I'm saying to him, how does it work? Like, he's like, oh, basically, there's this geezer called Rico. Rico runs the thing, yeah? And Rico's a very bad person. He said, while we're in the room, he's saying to us, yeah, he's already robbed us twice. We think he's fucking killed people. Like, he tells us all these fucking stories about this Rico guy, yeah? So on the table is, I think I've said this, a candle, and there was a set of scales and a knife where he was cutting up the puff, yeah? So he's saying to me, yeah, he robs everyone in here. And I'm saying, why'd you fucking stay here? And he's like, well, you know what I mean? He keeps the place safe even though we're not safe. And I'm trying to work out his fucking maths, thinking, what are you going on about? Bruv, as we're fucking as we're sitting there talking, about this guy, this geezer walks into the room, yeah? And I swear that I've only met a couple of people in my life, two that I can think of, that have give this energy. He was one. I won't even mention the other geezer because he's a bat. He lives in London and I don't want him fucking coming after me. But these two people, yeah, Rico in Ibiza and this mate, they've got the look of death about them. Like, you just know that they're about it. Like, I've met gangsters and I've known all over my life, like we all have, you know, and you know they're about it. But if you're really unlucky in life, you meet these people and you know that they're just cold killers. Yeah, mate, it was already cold in there. The temperature dropped about another 10 degrees when he walked in the room, yeah. And I'm just thinking, he didn't say anything. He just stood there looking really menacing, looking around the room. And I'm just thinking, no one in here knows me. I'm obviously with Sarah, who was my girlfriend at the time. I think Jasper just knows me as D and Sarah. That's all they know. So I'm looking at the table, I'm thinking, if this geezer makes one move for me, because I've already heard all these things that he's capable, that knife is going in him, and I'm grabbing Sarah, and we're out of here, mate, and we ain't looking back. And he just stood there. He didn't say a word for about 30 seconds, which is a long, when someone's being intense, like 30 seconds don't sound a lot. But when someone's being like that, 30 seconds feels like a lifetime, because you don't know what they're doing. They're just assessing. They're thinking about what they're going to do. They're seeing. It's all part of the game, you know what I mean? When you know them sort of people, part of the game is the everyone talking about you and everyone fearing you from a distance and all that. And part of that is just being menacing. And he was fucking menacing, mate. I'm telling you, and it's the only time in my life where I've considered, like, I will fucking murder a stranger in this situation, because I feel that he will murder us, because I'm stuck. He's in between us and the door, and I've got money on me and my phone and all of that sort of stuff, and I'm just in a right. Anyway, he just fucking looked around the room for a little while, and as quick as he come in the room, he had a couple of little urchins with him behind. He walked out and they went down to the next room and all that. I just grabbed the puff, I grabbed Sarah, I said, see you lot later, and we ducked out the thing. And it was just, I mean, we've got ourselves into a few situations, like me and Sarah over the years, especially usually when we're going to get some smoke or something. But that's the only time in my life, I think, that I can remember that I've actually feared for my life for us. It went through my head that this is a very, very, very bad. Like I said, I've been in many bad situations on my own and with Sarah, but this rates up there with the worst I've ever felt. And when we walked out, I thought to myself, and I said to Sarah, what the fuck am I doing bringing you here firstly? And what are we doing? What are we doing? But the puff was lovely, I ain't gonna lie. So, you know what I mean? And it's a story to tell, isn't it? But yeah, it's not really the best rave diary or tower block towel, but it was just a little lesson in sort of like, don't get excited when you're in another country, don't get carried away, do you know what I mean? you're not at home, and the rules at home are different to the rules abroad. And when you're rolling into squats and things like that, a man's telling you, yeah, we think he's murdered people and he's definitely robbed everyone in here, and he controlled, like the thing he controlled had about, no lie, there was hundreds of rooms in there, and they was all paying him a little rent, and he had it on lock. When we was walking past there later in the holiday, we were seeing him, bruv. He was just a bad person, and we had a lucky escape. Really, we had a lucky escape. But yeah, that was the story of Rico and Jasper and the crew in the squat. Maybe there's some of you lot that have done that squat life out here and know how it rolls, because you know what I mean. I just thought squatting was you just go and squat somewhere, but apparently there's rules to the squatting thing. People run the empty buildings and all of that, which I never even considered. But yeah, that was Ibiza. We had a great time. We had 2 weeks out of that week and went to all the clubs and had a right good time staying in the penthouse. But it could have all come a bit unstuck because it did get a bit sticky. But yeah, anyway, that was then and this is now. We're much more sensible, I'd like to think, even though we're not. Guys, thank you for watching. I've got a couple of these Ibiza ones. I'll split them up a bit, but this is the first one. You don't want to see 3 naked knees on the trot there, but I'll split them up a bit. But anyway, big up for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Again, add your Ibiza stories underneath. Don't forget a like and all of that malarkey, and I'll see you on the next one. Yeah, I'll reverse me out for the next one so you know it's a new video. All right, love you all. Peace. A quick update for you guys. I found myself driving past the place that was the squat. So I'm just going to quickly film it as we drive past it, but it ain't a squat anymore. It's all been niced up. It's all new build and blah, blah, blah. But I'll show you it now, yeah? All this new build here, all this here, this was all, this was where the squat was. It was all run down. It was all run down and decrepit and all of that. And yeah, it was inevitable it was going to turn into something better because of where it is. But yeah, now it's a hotel and a bag of restaurants. So there you go, little ending to the story.